loved you because your family revealed it to you, or people, brought you gifts when you didn't have it. Praise are really what hold us to the idea that God is with us, how He's showed up for us in the past.
My name is Leah Rempel, and I am the host of the Lab by 68 podcast and the team lead for Team Dress to Protest with Dressember, Canada. I have always wanted to do a podcast. I've experimented with a few just with Caleb, just for fun, but I knew that I wanted to do something a little bit more seriously, not necessarily for the podcast's sake, although that really appealed to me and I knew it was going to be fun. But really it was the message behind the podcast that I really wanted to be able to communicate with people. The idea behind the title is Lab is a place to learn, experiment, and grow. And I-68 is Isaiah 6:8, which is, "Here I am, Lord, send me." So basically, we really want to be equipping and encouraging women of faith in particular to really live out their faith and to claim the name of Kingdom Builder. I don't feel like there's a lot of resources, particularly for women, on how to actually live out our faith. What does that look like when we're actually walking it out and being intentional and actually looking to build God's kingdom? A lot of the podcast ideas came from I feel like Dressember is walking out my faith. I learned a lot through that experience. So I would say that there was a little bit of inspiration for the message that the podcast brings from Dressember. Dressember is a 31-day fashion challenge that uses fashion to be able to communicate and bring awareness to human trafficking and modern-day slavery. It also is an opportunity to raise funds for organizations that are on the ground and doing the difficult work of justice with victims and with survivors of trafficking. Trafficking definitely does affect us. Here in Edmonton, in Alberta, Canada, the vulnerable people in our own community are definitely affected. So you're looking at people that are coming out of foster care, who are in marginalized groups, LGBTQ, and particularly those who are Indigenous. They are definitely targeted as being vulnerable and have a higher chance of being emotionally manipulated into being exploited in a number of different ways. I had an absolute privilege of being able to interview the director of IJM Canada, who just gave an incredible interview talking about the work that they do and the impact that they have had, but also just how God has carried them through all of the work that they've done. It's been challenging to find balance in everything. I mean, my first priority is my family, and that making sure that our faith as a unit is being intact. And in order for that, we really believe here that between Caleb and I and Micah, that we are a team. I would not be able to do Dressember or Lab by 68 or any of the other little things that I do if it wasn't for them. In my life, I feel like has been, building on itself, and that God has used experiences from all these different areas in order to equip me for this role in particular. I feel like the podcast is the closest I've felt to really doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I've never felt so affirmed in what I'm doing. I feel God's hand on this. I feel like this is the message that He wants me to carry out into the world, that this is the message He wants me to communicate with women in particular. I really believe that our role as the church, our purpose as the church, is that we love God and love others. It should change the way that we do everything. My heart's cry is for us as a church to represent that Jesus really, really well. He approached it with love. Yes, He approached it with love and truth and honesty, but He approached it with love. He talked to people that nobody else dared talk to. He touched people that no one else dared touch. He lived His life so completely different. It was so upside down. The world is looking at us right now to see what we're doing and how we're responding to the pandemic, how we're responding to some of the justice issues that have happened this year. They're looking to us and how that we are engaging. If you want to get involved, a great place would be to contact me and to get more information if you want to be an official advocate, which means having an advocate page with Dressember, actually raising funds and wearing the dress or tie for the entire month. But the big thing is, if you want to participate, even just on Sunday mornings, don't let it be in vain. Take the opportunity to actually learn about the issues. I have great resources that I can pass on to people. My podcast is going to have a total of 4 episodes that is dealing with this topic in particular. And so I would just say, if you want to participate, but maybe you don't want to do the whole thing, the best thing that we can do is to educate ourselves on these issues.